here's a little tool that you can use to perhaps unlock more of your potential. Based on the Johari's window kind of idea, what we're basically trying to do is widen certain aspects of ourselves, to explore certain aspects of ourselves. Some of them will be unknown to us, and some will be known. And the reason why they're kind of constricted is because we're holding ourselves back. What we're basically doing is, we have cognitive intelligence, behavioural intelligence, social intelligence, and emotional intelligence. We also have our personalities. We could call ourselves an entrepreneur, a founder, perhaps, a manager, a coach, for instance. So we have a preference for these things. Some people like to jump in. We'll start with this over here in the outer world. Some people like to jump in, and as a result of that, it's a bit like a bull in a china shop sometimes. So we call these things blind spots. This is where having a coach is a really good idea, because you want this kind of outside perspective. But go for a walk and jot some notes down. But really, asking a coach is a good idea, who could maybe ask people in your team, or just ask the team. This is a good one. What do I tend to do? Because thinking is quite energy intensive, takes about a fifth of our calories, we'll quite often make things very habitual, and in doing so, we end up with these habits that no longer, as time goes on, no longer serve us. They were useful at a certain stage, say in business, but they are, they're not necessary anymore. So we have blind spots. If you're the type of person that likes to jump in, you react to things. Blind spots might be your thing, where if you were to uncover your blind spots, you could adapt your behaviour and be more effective. On the inner world, we're less on the unknown side as well, but on the inner side of it, we all have mental models that create these bias. Again, energy intensive to keep making new decisions, but also you might be the kind of person that likes to predict the future by basing it on what happened in the past. But if things are evolving, and we are in a kind of transformational time with AI and all and that kind of and other technologies, things are moving quite rapidly. So if you're basing your decision making on old biases, on old mental models, the map is not the territory. You might have to upgrade that. So, look at your mental models. Are you left wing, right wing? Are you conservative? Are you future thinking? Whatever it is that you kind of do all the time, how do you always think and approach things? And just challenge that. And again, we tend to have kind of maps, our hidden maps of the world, and we narrow that focus down, and if we can kind of open the map and see that we have more opportunities. The more opportunities we'll have, the more successful we tend to be. So again, challenging your own biases is useful to kind of give ourselves more potential, unlock more of our potential. In the known, but in the feeling side of things, we quite often have hidden feelings. We might hide some of our feelings because we don't want to appear vulnerable, or if you're socially intelligent and quite empathic, you tend not to want to hurt people, but then you can overplay that strength too much, and you keep those feelings hidden, and as a result of that, you're not able to express yourself fully. And the same over here in the outer world. It's known, but you have like a social face. There's a big thing now, isn't there, with the leaders being authentic, but we quite often find that people aren't allowed to be, they have to fit their who into where they are, as opposed to being able to be who they are wherever they are. And so the facade, perhaps it's something that you're acting in a certain way because you want to fit into wherever you are, and perhaps you shouldn't. Perhaps you should change the way you the way you are, or think about moving the system, because this is kind of social intelligence, but it's also systems. What's your environment that's forcing you to be hiding as not being your true self? So yeah, some great ideas. It's also good for a leader to look at this and think, look at your team. Is there some way you could help your team? If you're a coach, you can use this it's a great little model to use to coach people and mentor people, to find out more unlock more of their potential. If we can overcome this, we tend to find that we become more confident. We increase self-awareness, and the Greeks believed that self-awareness is the beginning of all wisdom. If we can overcome, stop hiding our feelings so much when it's appropriate, and also dropping the facade, dropping the mask, we can become more authentic. And if we are aware of our hidden feelings and our biases, it means that when we're making decisions, we can be more coherent. We tend to be very logical, and as a result of that, not ecological. When we're being logical up here, we sometimes miss some of that ecological perspective, which you could include, and therefore your decision making will be more coherent. So coherence, confidence, authenticity and awareness, great little model for increasing that, and therefore increasing your potential.